I love you, but I'm not in love with you is possibly one of the worst things your partner could say to you. But don't worry, because I've got lots and lots of information that's going to help you through this crisis. Hello, I'm Andrew G. Marshall, the author of the book I Love You, But I'm Not in Love with You. What are the causes? I'm going to discuss three central issues behind I love you, but I'm not in love with you. The first thing to understand is it comes from a place of love, because you want nice things between you and your partner. So if you're upset about something, rather than causing an issue, you swallow it and you say, sure, doesn't matter, that's fine. And that's great. But if you keep on doing it over and over again, it becomes a problem. Why is it a problem? Well, that brings us on to the second thing, because you can't suppress only one or two feelings. You start off by suppressing annoyance and upset and sadness, and before you can say, Bob's your uncle, you're suppressing all of your feelings, even the positive ones like joy and happiness, and you end up with that sort of in-between feeling of I love you, but I'm not in love with you, where, you like your partner, but you don't actually love them. And let's have a look at the third reason why people get into I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And that's because sex hasn't been a priority. Now, there are times when you're too tired to make love. And that's fine, because every relationship goes through those kind of periods. But sex is really bonding. And if you've spent many years where it hasn't been a priority, then you're going to get into a really difficult kind of position where you're sort of flatmates, brothers and sisters, rather than lovers. What are the worst responses to I love you, but I'm not in love with you? Now, I won't be at all surprised if you've actually fallen into some of these traps, because everybody does. So don't worry about that. The solution is that you're not going to do it anymore. The first one is panic, and that's a perfectly understandable response. But if you panic, you will turn this crisis into a really big problem. So please take this calmly, because it can be solved, and I've got lots and lots of strategies for solving it. The second of the worst responses is to keep on asking them how they feel today. And if you keep on asking somebody, how do you feel today? Do you love me now? They keep on having to look at their feelings, and they're going to come up with the same thing over and over again. I don't love you anymore. And the more times they say I don't love you anymore, the stronger it actually gets. So please don't ask them how they're feeling. It's a bit like pulling up a pot plant to look at its roots and see if it's growing. It's not going to do it any good, so please don't ask. Wait until they bring up the subject of love. Now, the third thing that lots of people do that I'd ask you not to do is debate with them. If you start debating with them, you're going to once again get into a difficult loop that's going to happen over and over again. So, they're going to say things like, I can't change my feelings. If I could change my feelings, I would do, but I can't. And we get into a very negative place. And if they do say, I can't change my feelings, I have an answer for you to give to them. Say, I don't want you to change your feelings. Actually, I want to hear how you're feeling, because probably under all of that neutral stuff that they've actually closed down because they don't want to cause upset, there's a lot of anger. There's going to be issues that happened 15 years ago, and you're going to think, oh, do we have to talk about those? Yes, because after the anger comes the sadness, and after the sadness comes the possibility of love coming back again. So it's okay for them to have these feelings, because they might be angry, but they're going to come round to positive. What are the solutions? The solution to I love you, but I'm not in love with you is going to come as a shock. It's going to be argue more. Now, the reason you've got into this problem is because you don't argue enough. You just agree with each other all the time, but you're shutting down debate. If you have an argument, all the issues that are really important come up to the surface. And guess what? That's where they can be resolved. It also, that anger creates a sense of purpose, that something has got to be done. And that's positive for sorting this out. There's more information in my book, I Love You, But I'm Not in Love with You, about how to argue constructively. I hope you find it useful, and I look forward to giving you more information about this issue at my website, www.andrewgmarshall.com.